Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Veronica and I run my own small business called loopingteddys. And welcome back to another studio vlog. I'm finally back in the studio again. It's already Wednesday of this week and I'm just now back in the studio for the first time this week. It has been quite a crazy few days in my day job, so I haven't been able to find any time to actually be in here in the past couple of days. But now I'm finally back. It's currently Wednesday. I just finished my workday and walked over here to get this video started and check back in with you guys. I have been working on my small business quite a lot the past few days, so I have been quite busy already, but I just wasn't able to take you guys along because it was just little things here and there, and I never found the time to actually pick up the camera and start talking to you. But yeah, I can definitely feel that the market season is coming closer again because I have been insanely busy. My to-do list keeps getting longer, and I feel like I cannot keep up with all of the tasks that I need to do. So that is definitely a sign that market season is coming. But for now, I have written out my to-do list. I have brought it over here in this big bag. So every time I go to the studio, I always try to bring as much as I physically can because I am still not finished with moving all of my things in here. So for today, I brought this big bag again with mostly candle making stuff. So my wicks are in here. We have some wick holders. We have actual wood wicks. So this morning I ordered so many more of these because these were just testers. And as I have finally finished my testing for my wicks and I now know which ones I need for my candles, I finally ordered the right sizes for those. We have lots more of these wicks. Then I have my sealer for my candle jars in here. So these are the jars that I have made. This was what has been keeping me insanely busy the past couple of days. So I have a quite big collection that I brought over here. I think it was on Monday. That was when I was in the studio for this week, I guess. But I just brought them over because I had my car then. So I was able to take over this. Let me show you this huge amount of inventory already, and I have about the same amount still at home, so quite a lot of candle jars I've been making. I'm currently on the final few that I still need to finish up, so then I will finally be done with prepping these for my first two markets. So that has been keeping me quite busy, but I'm just about to finish with them, and then we will move on to the next steps with those. I'm quite happy with how they have been turning out. So I have made these like marble jars that I really like the look of. And I have the same in white as well for different fragrances. But I will get more into that later on. I feel like I'm all over the place. That usually happens when I have way too much to do at one time. I kind of start a ton of tasks and never finish any of them. So let's keep unpacking this first, and then I will catch up with you on all of this stuff, and then we will get to the reason why I'm here today. So here's my to-do list, which I also brought over here. And this is basically everything that I need to do to be able and ready to start selling my candles at my two pre-Easter markets that are coming up. So I still have lots of things to accomplish, like lots of design work for labels and stuff like that, for price signs, all of that, because I have never sold candles at a market before. So there's kind of a lot of prep work that needs to be done before I can start selling them at markets. And then in the next step online as well, I have to do quite a lot of prep work for that to happen. And all of this will need to get done pretty soon because my first market is on March 30th. So yeah, I definitely have a lot to do. But then I also have brought over some plushie making supplies, specifically some yarn colors, a acrylic yarn color that I need for an Etsy order that I want to accomplish today. That is why I am stepping into the studio today because I wanted to work on that order that I got, I think, over the weekend, and I have not started working on that. So I really need to get finished with that. I also brought over some packaging for that order, so we will need to work on that in just a second. But before we get into the whole plushie topic, I wanted to just go ahead and go a little bit into this to-do list actually. So I also, apart from these vessel candles, I want to make some pillar candles as well. So I have ordered quite a lot of molds for those. They're still back at home, so I can't really show them to you yet again, but I have been trying them out for the past couple of weeks. Not sure if I've ever talked about that on this channel, but I have been very busy behind the scenes in the past couple of weeks. So I tried a lot of them out, and I finally went ahead and decided on around 15-ish different pillar candles that I want to launch with and bring to my first 2 markets. And I'm not only launching them at markets, all of the candles, but I eventually want to sell them online as well. But for now, I'm focusing on the first 2 markets that are coming up pretty soon. And then after the second market, which is on April 6th, I have a whole month off of markets, and then my plan is to focus on online and build up a whole new Instagram and a whole new Etsy for my candle brand, I guess. So I will be working on that soonish. I just realized that there's no way that I can get everything done before the first market. So for now, I'm just focusing on market inventory and making content and stuff like that beforehand. And then after the 2 markets, I will be focusing on building up a whole new account and shop for that. And I decided to go ahead and kind of split the 2 things up, because I think that they have a very different target group, and I also have very different goals for the 2 types of products. At least that is what I'm thinking about right now. Let me know if you would do it the same way, or if you would just keep the shop with all of different types of products. I'm not entirely sure yet, but I'm thinking about kind of like separating them out because they have a very different target group. And also for my candles, I do want to do like wholesaling and stuff like that in the future, and I feel like it would get confusing with having like plushies and then candles and then plushies and then candles on one account and one shop, but I'm not 100% sure about that right now. If you also sell different types of products, let me know down in the comments how you do it, and if you have 2 different accounts, shops and stuff like that, or if you sell it all under one name, one brand, and everything like that. I would really love to know all about that. But let's get into some plushie talk. Okay, so for plushies, as I said before, have an open Etsy order that has been open for a little bit, so I really need to work on it. It's for 2 plushies. We have a brown cat and a classic black and yellow bee. So I will need to make those. I actually really want to make and complete them today, so I can send the order out tomorrow. It has to go out by Friday, so I'm still good on time, but I would really like to get it finished today. So that's the plan for that order. And then we still have this huge box full of whips, and nothing has happened with those since last week. So I really need to keep working on those over the course of this week and really start finishing up some of these. I feel like I've been saying the same thing for the past couple of weeks, but I just really haven't had any time to work on these things. It's honestly kind of scary because I know that the plushies will sell eventually, so I should really focus on plushies, but also I really want to grow my brand this year. So that's why I've also been focusing on candles, because I see a lot of growth potential there. With plushies, I'm kind of like at my limit. There's like not a whole lot more that I could do. Like even if I spend all of my free time on plushies, there's like a limit to what you can do. And I feel like that's not like the same with candles. So I really want to grow my brand in that direction and of course keep the plushies at the same time. but it's kind of scary to take your focus away from your best-selling product, the product that has been my whole brand for the last year. And now I'm branching out and actually taking time away from making these for developing products that I don't really even know that will sell in the future. Not sure if my point is like kind of coming across the way I wanted to, but I feel like it's necessary at the same time to try out new things. So that is what's been going on. It's kind of a very interesting time in this small business right now, but it's also like kind of exciting, and I can't wait for my first market once I actually have all of the new inventory and I can try and sell these at a market and try and see how people react to them, if people like them. And yeah, it feels like very exciting to work on new things as well, even though it is kind of scary, as I said before. But I feel like I'm like talking in circles, so let's actually stop doing that and start working on things. So I will work on the order first because that has like a very serious time limit on it, and these also do have a time limit on them, but they don't have to be finished as soon as the order does. So I actually need to leave and go back home in around an hour because I have visitors coming over tonight, so I don't have a ton of time today, but I would really like to get the 2 plushies done, and I will actually take a couple of these back home today and hopefully work on them some more tonight. But yeah, let's get into the order. I feel like I've been talking for 20 minutes at this point.
Some may never come, road trips and shotguns, sunshine on my skin, smile is kicking in, vibes are in the air, jumping everywhere, endless nights, 'cause summer's on my mind. I'm drenched in sunshine and good times, changing the station with an open mind. I don't wanna sound selfish, but I'm not coming back. The highs of your touch like vertigo, it's a fight or flight rush, no way to take it slow. Got me feeling like I could breathe in space, in space. Some may never come, road trips and shotguns, sunshine on my skin, smile is kicking in, vibes are in the air, jumping everywhere, endless nights, 'cause summer's on my mind. Some may never come, road trips and shotguns, sunshine on my skin, smile is kicking in, vibes are in the air, jumping everywhere, endless nights, 'cause summer's on my mind.
Okay, friends, so it's now a little while later, and I have finished up the 2 plushies that were ordered. So first of all, we have this little kitty, and of course the ordered color was the only one that I currently don't have in stock, so I made this one up quickly. Very cute. And then we also have a very spring themed item, this little bee that I also made up just now, and we will pack these up now. I have brought over all of the things that I need for that. I will need to tag these two, so I brought over some tags with me here, my little like plushie tags that I designed a long time ago. And I actually realized earlier on when I was looking for these that I have apparently run out of tags almost. I print these myself, so I buy the blank tag online and I buy some stickers and I print the stickers myself and stick them onto this label. And I only have one more sheet of labels left, so that should be around 30 more tags that I can make. So I really need to order some more of those labels because I need to tag all of my plushies that I currently have in my inventory. I have not tagged any of them, so I really need to order those labels. So I hadn't realized that I had run this low. And for my Etsy orders, I always leave the price blank just in case it is for a gift or something like that. So yeah, these two are now finished. So let me get out the cardboard and we will pack this one up. And something else that I hadn't realized I had run out of was this tissue paper that I use to pack my orders in. So I had actually completely run out of that, and I decided to go ahead and order this like pastel rainbow colored tissue paper just for some fun, and it was also like a great deal. So let me get this out, and I think we will just use this blue one for this order. So let me pack up these two little ones into this colored tissue paper. And I hadn't realized, but it's actually like kind of shiny. This tissue paper is like kind of like glossy. My old one was like more matte, but I actually kind of like this one. And I think that the different colors make it kind of fun to pack orders with this. Okay, so we're all packed up now. I will take this one home with me because I currently don't have a printer over here, so I will need to print out the label back at home. And then I think that I will also take home the chicken bodies for tonight, so I can work on those when I have time tonight. So at least get like the eyes in and possibly like start closing them up. So I will pick these up now and take them back home, and hopefully I can report tomorrow that I actually got something done with those tonight. And after I take these out, it actually doesn't look so bad anymore in here. Like there's still a lot left, don't get me wrong, but these actually take up a big amount of space in the bin. So let me take these home, and hopefully this is all we have left after tonight. But I will see you guys tomorrow and we will see how much I got done. Hi friends, it's now Friday. I'm back at the studio, as you can tell. I didn't end up going back to the studio yesterday. I basically stayed at home and did some designing work after my day job just to get some of that out of the way because I still need to do lots of that, and my big computer is still at home, so I will keep doing that kind of work back at home. So I ended up not going to the studio and focusing on that a little bit. It's nowhere near done, but I finally started to make a dent in it. So I was designing some labels for my candles, some safety labels that you have to put on your candles that basically disclose what ingredients are in the fragrances that might cause an allergic reaction. The labels that you need in the EU are CLP labels, and I designed those yesterday because I need to print those or get those printed. I'm not entirely sure about that right now, and put them on the bottom of the candles. So I had to do that at some point. So I finally did that yesterday. I also went ahead and designed a little two little posters for my market booth. That's something that I've seen online in a couple of people's booths, and I really want to include that in my market setup this year as well. Just have little informational posters, little behind the scenes pictures and stuff like that, just to show even more that everything is handmade by me and that I do design and make everything myself in my booth. I want to have a little behind the scenes poster with some pictures of me working on different things. And then I also want to have a little informational poster about the candles, what the ingredients are and why they are better than any candles from the store or stuff like that. So I started to design that. I'm not completely finished with that. I started yesterday, but I will have to put in a little more work over the course of the weekend. And then finally, I finished up all of the chickens that I took back home. But of course, I forgot them at home, so I can't really show them to you right now, but they're all completed. They're just waiting to be added into the big finished plushie bin. So I ended up completing those. I also sent out my order yesterday, so I'm all caught up on that. And that was basically everything I've been doing since I last talked to you. But now for the game plan for today. So I have a couple of things that I want to do today. First of all, I want to finally try out the wax melter and start making some colored candles and trying out the colors that I got. Because right now, all of the candles that I have tried are in just a basic white wax color that the wax comes in. And I would really like to have a couple of different shades for the candles as well. So I first bought two different colors and I had already tried them out. So one was pretty good. It was a light beige. The candles are back at home, so I can't really show them to you. And the other one was a big flop. It was not a cute color, let's just say that. So I bought three more colors and I will be trying those out today. So I will be trying out the wax melter and the different colors. That is one of the goals for today. So I will start by doing that, letting the wax heat up and see how it does or how it works and if everything works like it's supposed to. And then I would also really like to work some more on the works in progresses and then possibly also work on something else. So quite a while ago, I think it was last year at this point, I had a custom order for a very round sheep and I couldn't find a pattern for that. So I decided to write up my own and make it that way. And I was talking about how I wanted to release the pattern eventually, and I never did. So one of you guys commented on my last video and asked when the sheep pattern was going to come out. So I finally remembered that I wanted to do that. So I brought the pattern with me. I have it in my backpack. I had written it down, luckily, when I made the first sheep. So I really wanted to make another one of those and see if the pattern is correct, and then possibly work on getting that written up and ready for a tester call over the course of the weekend, and then have the tester call next week. But that would be awesome to finally accomplish that. That has been open for a very long time and I completely forgot about it. So thank you so much for reminding me of that. So that is the game plan for today. Basically 3 big points. So let's start by getting the wax melter set up and getting some wax in there and start heating it up. Not sure how much I will film for that because I've never done that, and I kind of get nervous when I film something that I've never done before. So we will see how much I can show you of that process. Okay, so everything is prepped. The wax is heating up right now. And while we're waiting for that to happen, I will be working on some of my works in progresses. It should only take a little more until it's completely melted. So let me just start by working a little more on these little turtles that I started out. I think it was last week, and I finished half of them last week, and I still have 3 more to go. So I will keep working on those and checking on the wax in between, and then pouring the candles or adding the color, pouring the candles, and then going back to working some more on these. So that is the plan for right now.
It's hard for me to be somewhere for too long. I'm always moving around, but as long as I'm on the same page as you're on, no point in slowing it down. 'Cause anywhere I'm going, if you're the one I'm holding, I could be anywhere. Long as you're beside me, tied into a right, I could be anywhere. I just need you there. I need you there. I need you there. I need you there. I need you. We could be floating.
Okay, so I have finished the first turtle. Here it is. And I also just checked on the wax, and it's completely melted and at the right temperature. So let's pour those 2 candles and then move back to the other 2 turtles.
On a boat in a bay, we could be at home in a haze. We could be driving a silver Mercedes, or on a bike in the rain. 'Cause anywhere I'm going, if you're the one I'm holding, I could be anywhere.
Hey friends, it's now Saturday, and you might be wondering why I didn't film anymore yesterday and why there was such an abrupt end to the vlog yesterday. So let me tell you a little story about what happened here yesterday and the dramatic accident that happened in this studio. So as you saw yesterday, I was finishing up this little turtle, and then my wax had melted completely, so I was able to actually mix in the color that I was testing yesterday and then start pouring the 2 molds that I had prepped before. So when I was doing that, everything went super smoothly, and then after I had poured the 2 molds, I wanted to do like a little tester, just like a little piece of wax on the paper I had laid out back here, just to be able to compare the different colors later on as well. And when I was doing that, the jug was almost empty, so I was holding it like this and trying to get the wax out. And then my sleeve actually like snatched on one of the molds, of course on the bigger mold, and it ended up tipping over and splashing all across the table, down the wall, onto the floor, basically just everywhere. And I had around 400 milliliters of colored wax running down my wall, and yeah, that basically happened. So I decided to stop filming. I was kind of like done for the day. So I actually went home after that and completely ignored that for a while. And then late last night, I came back and actually cleaned up the whole mess. I will put a picture up here of what it looked like before and here what it looks like now. So basically, I almost got all of the wax out. You can still kind of tell where it ran down the wall, but it is behind the desk. So not as bad as it could have been, but still that gave me a good lesson on what to look out for when making candles. So today I will be more careful. I'm already melting some more wax back there. I have measured out the other two colors that I want to be trying out today, but I basically will be doing that on my own time without filming because I'm still very new to all of that. So I will do that like kind of in the background and kind of talk to you a little more about what I have been working on last night and this morning. So last night when I went back home after cleaning all of this up, we were watching some videos late last night and I had the urge to crochet some more. So I started working on my wristlets some more. I have them still at home, so I can't really show you, but I finished, I think it's 6 wristlets, but just like basically the long strings for the wristlets. I still need to close them up and finish them up and attach the hardware. And that is when I realized that I'm almost out of hardware. So I will need to order that before my first market so I can actually finish up all of the wristlets that I have at home. I had a couple more prepared than just the 6 I made yesterday. So I have around 20 different strings for wristlets at home. So we will work on those once I have ordered the hardware. And then this morning I was actually like very antsy when I woke up. So I woke up pretty early. I usually sleep in quite long, but this morning I got up at 8 because I just couldn't stay in bed anymore. I just feel like I have so much to do and I couldn't just lay around any longer. So I got up and I was working on some more plushies this morning. So I managed to finish 2 of them. So we have little Easter plushies again. These are little like poppable bunnies. So they're sitting like this, but you can also pull them out and they have little like hands as well. And I made one in white and then one in a cream color. So these are the 2 that I finished this morning. I really, really like them and I would love to make some more of those soonish for the 2 pre-Easter markets that I have coming up. So I finished those. I'm actually pretty surprised by the size. I think that my tension has changed quite a lot since last year when I last made them. So they're quite bigger than last year. So I think with all the details and stuff, I might be able to charge 12 euros for those now. So we will see about that, but that's what I'm thinking at least right now. So these 2 are finished. And then I also got another order yesterday. So it was for another turtle, but in like a different color than the ones I have currently prepped. So in like a darker brown and then like a green shell. So a very natural looking turtle. And I hadn't made any of those up. So I started working on actually 2 bodies for those because I thought I could make one of those for my market inventory as well. But I have the body parts at home still, so I can't really show them to you. But I was working on the body parts. I have the 2 heads finished and 6 of the fins. So I just need to make 2 more. There's a really cool bird outside. But I need to make 2 more fins and then I can start working on the shells and finishing those up. But those should get done today over the course of the day when I go back home later on. But for now, I think that I will be working on more turtles while I'm here. So I still have 2 more to finish up and then I will move on to some of the rest of the whips in here and work on completing those today. And then like behind the scenes, I will be working on some candles, but I probably should not film that right now because I'm not experienced at it. And I saw yesterday what happens when I try to do multitasking with things that I'm not used to. But I still want to show you the candle that we made yesterday, the one that didn't tip over. So this is the color Not entirely sure how I feel about that one. It's a very different color than it is on the label and looks kind of greenish, like more green than it comes across on camera. So I'm not loving this one, but I have high hopes for the other two colors that I will be trying out today. That is what's going on right now. I will have to go home in around an hour and a half because we have some visitors coming today. So we have a little bit of time. This afternoon already, it's 12:30, but we have a little bit of time right now, and then we will see if I come back to the studio later after the visitors have left. Okay, friends, so I'm now completed with all of the turtle whips that I had. So here they are. So 4 more turtles. We have mustard, a light green, a dark turquoise, and a lilac. And these are now all the way finished. I actually had to make 2 more of the fins, so I made those up just now and added them to the last turtle that I made up. But now I can add all of them into my finished plushie bin, and I have been thinking what else I want to do today. So I just remembered that I actually took over my pattern for the sheep that I wrote up a while ago. So I think that I will be working on that now and just make the pattern up or make the plushie up in the way that it is described in my pattern that I wrote up when I made it for the first time. And I will see if that actually works out the way I want it to. So I think that the head of the sheep will be made in this brown color and then the body obviously in the white. So we will see how that turns out. I also finished pouring the colorful candles, and both of the colors I just tried out are looking pretty good so far. So we will see all about that. But now let's get into making the sheep. Okay, friends, so it's now a little while later, and I have actually already finished the little sheep. So this is what it's looking like. I think it turned out really cute. It's like a really round little sheep. It's no sew, it's super simple. I followed my pattern that I had written up quite a long time ago, and I still really like the look of it. So stay on the lookout for a tester call coming up on my Instagram pretty soon. So I can't wait to get this little one written up in like a more clean way than just this piece of paper, and then put up a tester call. I haven't done that in over a year, so it feels kind of exciting to do that again. I'm really happy with how this little one turned out. So thank you again to the person who commented and asked about the sheep pattern again. So I'm super happy that I made this one up again. And now I actually do have to leave to go back home because we are getting visitors, as I said before. And I think that I will actually end this vlog right here since I might be coming back to the studio today, but it will be kind of later and I will be mostly focusing on some more candle things tonight. So thank you guys so much for watching this video all the way until the end, and I will see you guys again next week for another video. So until then, bye!